Yo, what's up again? Welcome back to the Brojo Emotionally Shameless series. And we've been tackling all the dark and yucky ones first. And today we're going to be looking at confusion, possibly one of the least enjoyable of the emotions, but one that we don't really talk about very much. So, what is confusion? It's a state of unfamiliarity and uncertainty. It's being in a situation that you don't believe you comprehend very well, that you don't understand. And it creates a sense of being lost or at risk, sometimes threatened, a hypersensitivity to your environment, to the situation, and quite often comes matched with frustration as you try to solve the problem of not understanding. It occurs when new information, new evidence challenges previous understanding. You can only feel confused when your belief has been threatened. And so that threatened feeling doesn't necessarily mean that you're unsafe, that your security's at risk. It just means that your belief is at risk. What you previously thought was true has come into question. And we often don't like this feeling because we believe we're supposed to be certain, don't we? A lot of people think confidence is certainty, and I'll be challenging that today. Quite often what happens is confusion is the state where you're going to be compelled to find an answer. Confusion is the state that happens when what you thought was true turns out to not be quite as true as you hoped it was. And so you're now compelled to figure out what the new truth is. Now that compulsion to find an answer, that little bit of frustration you feel when you're confused, that desire to get from lost to found, from confused to understanding, I think this is often misunderstood as a desire to escape, to get away from the situation. So rather than trying to solve our confusion, when usually I see a lot of people try to escape it. They try to run away from it. They try to get back to what they believe, so they try to avoid the new evidence and hold on and cling to their previous belief. Like, no, that's true. It's always been true. Or they just try to get away from the situation. I can't hear you, blah, 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 I'm going. That's how a lot of people seem to react to confusion. And they don't know how to express themselves when they're confused. They don't know how to put not knowing what to say into words. And I've already done a video on how to express confusion, but essentially it says, I'm confused. That's how you express confusion. So people misunderstand confusion as a desire to escape because we have shame around being uncertain. We're told our whole lives, all through school, that not knowing the answer is a bad thing, when in reality it's the only way you can learn is to think you don't know the answer. If you think you know the answer, you can't interpret any new evidence and you get stuck in your old way of thinking. So certainty means stubbornly clinging to an answer, despite counter-evidence. Certainty means avoiding and restraining yourself from searching for counter-evidence, from not wanting to know the truth. That's how you get those echo chambers, as people avoiding confusion. They don't want to see the grey, they just want black and white. And so they avoid any grey. They avoid trying to understand the other side of the story. They cling to their own. And in doing so, they become outdated very quickly and are unable to evolve. Confusion breaks the spell of clinging to an answer. Confusion is when certainty gets destroyed by truth. Truth will always destroy your certainty. If you feel certain a lot, all of the time, then you're not exposing yourself to truth. You can welcome confusion as a state of being open to new understanding, open to anything. It's a foundation where a new you can be built. It's the beginning of a process. Confusion is what happens before improvement and before change. When you're at the new dance class, you're like, I just can't get this dance step. I don't get it. I don't know how you stand there. I always fall over. That state is what knowing the dance step is going to come from. It's going to start with that state. You don't need to get away from the state. You don't get away from building a foundation so you can carry on with the rest of the house. You get the foundation sorted first. Observation plus time equals understanding. Confusion is not something to get away from, but something to bathe in, to observe as going, I'm lost because a new truth is occurring to me. So now I sit back and observe. I watch my environment and go, okay, what is the new truth? I'm going to stay confused until it all becomes clear and I get back to certain, but I'm not getting back to my old certainty. I'm creating a new certainty based on new information. So you don't need to rush when you're confused. You don't need to get away from confused. You just say, I'm confused, and you stay there until the new information makes sense. You don't just quit school because you didn't understand one lecture. You go back the next day and the next day and you stay confused until you get it. So you don't need to run away from confusion. It is what will save you from getting outdated. It is the absolutely critical step to evolution. It is how you adapt to change. Without confusion, you're stuck forever. Hope that helps, and I'll see you guys for the next one in the series.